Without waiting that long, here is a shortened and edited version of last night's romantic and technical history.
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Apollo 11, the first mission to land humans on the moon. Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center on July 16, 1969. The crew consisted of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Armstrong and Aldrin would be the first humans to walk on the moon, while Collins would remain in lunar orbit in the command module Columbia. The spacecraft consisted of three parts: the command module, the service module, and the lunar module. The CM and SM remained in lunar orbit while the LM landed on the moon's surface. The Apollo 11 spacecraft traveled to the moon for 3 days. On July 20th, Armstrong and Aldrin entered the lunar module Eagle and descended to the surface of the moon. They landed on the Sea of Tranquility at 4:17 p.m. Armstrong and Aldrin spent about 2.5 hours on the lunar surface. They collected samples, conducted experiments, and took photographs. Armstrong also became the first human to walk on the moon, taking his first step at 10:56 p.m. The primary objective of the Apollo 11 mission was to complete a national goal set by President John F. Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon. Aldrin followed Armstrong out of the Eagle a few minutes later. The two astronauts spent about 2.5 hours on the lunar surface. They collected samples, conducted experiments, and took photographs. Armstrong's first step on the moon was a historic moment that was watched by millions of people around the world. Armstrong and Aldrin opened the hatch of the Eagle and descended to the lunar surface using a ladder. Armstrong was the first to step out of the Eagle, and he took a few moments to survey the lunar surface. He then said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Armstrong and Aldrin then spent the next 2.5 hours exploring the lunar surface. They also planted an American flag on the moon. After 2.5 hours, it was time for Armstrong and Aldrin to return to the return home of Apollo 11 was a carefully planned and executed process. The astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, had spent more than 8 days in space, including 2.5 days on the surface of the moon. They were now about to embark on the most dangerous part of their journey, the return to Earth. The first step was to detach the lunar module, LM, from the command module, CM. The LM was no longer needed, and it would only add weight and complexity to the return journey. The astronauts used the LM's ascent engine to lift off from the surface of the moon and rejoin the CM. Once they were safely back in the CM, they jettisoned the LM and fired the Centimeter's main engine to begin their journey home. The journey back to Earth took about 3 days. During that time, the astronauts were in constant communication with Mission Control in Houston. They monitored the spacecraft systems and made sure that everything was functioning properly. They also took turns sleeping and eating. On July 24, 1969, the CM splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. The astronauts were greeted by a flotilla of ships and helicopters, and they were soon reunited with their families. The Apollo 11 mission was a success, and it marked a major milestone in the history of human spaceflight. The Apollo 11 mission was a major turning point in human history. It was the first time that humans had ever set foot on another celestial body, and it marked the beginning of a new era of exploration and discovery. The Apollo 11 mission had a profound impact on the world, and its legacy continues to inspire and motivate people today. Here are some of the most significant ways that the Apollo 11 mission has impacted the world. It inspired a generation of scientists and engineers. The Apollo 11 mission showed the world what was possible when people put their minds to it. It inspired a generation of scientists and engineers to pursue careers in space exploration, and it helped to create a new era of innovation and discovery. It boosted American morale and prestige. The Apollo 11 mission was a major victory for the United States in the space race. It helped to boost American morale and prestige, and it showed the world that the United States was a leader in science and technology. It changed the way we see the world. The Apollo 11 mission gave us a new perspective on our place in the universe. It showed us that we are not alone in the cosmos, and it inspired us to dream of exploring other worlds. The Apollo 11 mission was a truly historic event, and its legacy continues to inspire and motivate people today. It is a reminder that anything is possible if we set our minds to it, and it shows us that the human spirit is capable of great things. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one.